Right for the competitor, David. Dave, right. Put the girl in.
Okay, very big thank you to Wayne McDonald, our surface manager. He has the arena ready to go again. And here we go with our last 67 competitors that need to run in the Ringers Western Gold Buckle Open second round. We're just waiting on Judge 3. Just one moment till we get Judge 3 in place. I'll give you the go-ahead shortly. Okay, Judge 3 is in place. We're right to go. Okay, we're underway with our first competitor, number 301, Dana Shea, with Federal Park Diva. Standing by 302, Pat Hardwick, 303, Ash Sheehan, 304, Lockie Sim, 305, Alex Croker, 306 will be Mark Buttsworth, 307, Jay Sharnock, 308, Toby White. Out on course, competitor 301, Dana Shea with Federal Park Diva. Standing by 302, Pat Hardwick, 303, Ash Sheehan, 304, Lockie Sim, 305, Alex Croker, and 306, Mark Buttsworth. Very big thank you to our event partners, Construction Control, Bishops Milton, Coolabah Performance Horses, ECM Livestock, Jackson's Ranch, and Ben Max. Cut out of 17.67, horsework 57.33, 3 for the course for a 78 with a 20 in the first round. That's a total of 98 points. It's 98 points there for Dana Shea and Federal Park Diva. Watching Depco Pastoral's nomination, Wicked Duck, ridden today by Pat Hardwick. He comes out as competitor 302, all the way from Hawthorn. Into the camp goes 303, Ash Sheehan, standby 304, Lockie Sim, 305, Alex Croker, and 306, Mark Buttsworth. We'll have a cutout score for Pat. Cut out of 20, 20 only there for Pat Hardwick. He had an 82.6 in the first round. That's a grand total of 102.67. 102.67 for Pat Hardwick and Wicked Duck. Next competitor will be a 303, Ash Sheehan and Sheehan's Legacy. This is his own nomination. Standing by 304, Lockie Sim, 305, Alex Croker, 306, Mark Buttsworth, 307, Jay Chinook, 308, Toby White, 309, John Turvey, 310, Tom Barnes, 311, Graham Rosinski, and 312 will be Matt Beaches. Currently watching competitor 303, Ash Sheehan and Sheehan's Legacy. And that's time. Out on course, competitor 304, Lockie Sim and No More Rain. This is Lockie and Beck's own nomination, and they hail from Holbrook. Standing by, we should have 305, Alex Croker, 306, Mark Buttsworth, 307, Jay Chinook, 308, Toby White, 309, John Turvey, and 310, Tom Barnes. So all of the cattle that you see throughout our drafting for the past few days and towards the weekend, they all are owned by Willinga Pastoral. You don't see that very often. They are all Willinga Pastoral cattle. Score for Lockie Sim and No More Rain, cut out 22.33, horsework 56.33 and 4 for the course, for a total of 82.66, with an 81.67 in the first round. That's a total of 164.33, 164.33 for Lockie Sim and No More Rain. Looking over his cattle now is competitor 305, Alex Croker and Titan. Standing by 306, Mark Buttsworth, 307, Jay Chinook, 308, Toby White, 309, John Turvey. Alex has called for his gate and is now on course. Competitor 305, Alex Croker and Titan. Mark Buttsworth goes on camp at 306, stand by 307, Jay Chinook, 308, Toby White, 309, John Turvey, 310, Tom Barnes, 311, Graham Rosinski, 312, Matt Beaches, 313, Pete Comiskey, 314, Charlie Hingsberger, 315, Pat Cleaver. Score for Alex Croker and Titan, cut out 13.67, horsework 62, course 4, for a total of 79.67, with an 88.33 in the first round. That's a total of 168 for Alex Croker and Titan. You're currently watching competitor 306, Mark Buttsworth. He rides A Little Turbulence. A Little Turbulence, of course, is owned by Don Williams. Mark hails from Kingaroy, best country in the world. That's where I come from. Score for Mark Buttsworth and Don Williams, A Little Turbulence, cut out 22, horsework 63.3, 4 for the course for an 89.33 with an 83.34 in the first round. That gives Mark a total of 172.67, 172.67. Looking over his cattle now is competitor 307, Jay Sharnock with Jakiro Lincoln. Standing by 308, Toby White, 309, John Turvey, 310, Tom Barnes. All the action will start tomorrow morning at 8:30 with the ladies' dash for cash. So we're certainly looking forward to that. And then, of course, we'll head straight on after the first round of the ladies with the Gold Buckle semi-final. Out on course, competitor 307, Jay Sharnock with Jakiro Lincoln. Into the camp goes 308, Toby White, Dharma Conme, standby 309, John Turvey's Hugo. Have a score coming through for Jay Sharnock very, very soon. Cut out of 12. Had a first round score of 82, total of 94 for Jay and Jakiro Lincoln. Next competitor 308, Toby White, Dharma Conme. Standby then 309, John Turvey, Hugo, 310, Tom Barnes, Willinga Park, Nikita. 311, Graham Rosinski's Presley's Impulse, and 312 will be Matt Beach's Blackwater Reprieve. Out on course, competitor 308, Toby White and Dharma Conme. This is Charlie Hinksberger's nomination. 309 goes on camp, John Turvey's Hugo. Standby 310, Tom Barnes, 311, Graham Rosinski, 312, Matt Beaches. 3:13 Pete Comiskey, 3:14 Charlie Hinksberger, 3:15 Pat Cleaver. Please stand by. We have a score coming through for Toby White and Dharma Conmee. Cut out 22, horsework 58.33, 3 for the course, 83.33, with an 83.67 in the first round. That's a total of 167 from Toby White and Dharma Conmee. Out on course very shortly, competitor 309, John Turvey and Hugo. This is his own nomination. Standing by, well, into the camp, 3:10 Tom Barnes. Standing by, 3:11 Graham Rosinski, 3:12 Matt Beaches. .33 for cutout with a 21 in the first round. It's a total of 42.33. 42.33 for John Turvey and Hugo. Tom Barnes is next with Willinga Park Nikita. This is Oakwood Station's nomination. And Tom lives at Upper Kandanga. And he's out on course. Into the camp, 31, Graham Rosinski, Priestley's Impulsive. And that was a cutout of 20.33. 20.33 only there for Tom Barnes and Willinga Park Nikita. .311 now in camp, Graham Rosinski with Presley's Impressive. Standing by, 3:12 Matt Beaches. 3:13 Pete Comiskey, 3:14 Charlie Hinksberger, 3:15 Pat Cleaver, 3:16 Glenn Peacock, 3:17 Rowan Marks, 3:18 Kelly Eagles, 3:19 Mick Southern, 3:20 Callum Moore, 3:21 Troy Palmer, 3:22 is Campbell Borlow, and 3:23 is Mick Otten. If those competitors could please stand by. Unfortunately, that's a no score there for Graham. He had a 86 in the first round. He goes out with an 86. Currently on camp, competitor 312, Matt Beaches with Blackwater Reprieve. This is our MAFRA competitor and he's out on course. Into the camp, 313, Pete Comiskey with Seliglanz. Standing by 314, Charlie Hinksberger, 315, Pat Cleaver. Score for Matt Beaches and Blackwater Reprieve, cut out 21, horsework 60, course 4 for an 85 with an 84.66 in his first round. That gives Matt Beaches a total of 169.67. 169.67 for Matt Beaches and Blackwater Reprieve. Here he is again, out on course, competitor 313, Pete Comiskey riding Seliglanz. 314's on camp, Charlie Hinksberger, standby 315, Pat Cleaver. Score coming through for Pete Comiskey and Seliglanz. Cut out 22, horsework 62, course 4 for an 88 with an 81.6 in the first round. That's a total of 169.67, 169.67 for Pete Comiskey and Seliglanz. All action, though, is in the camp and he's out on course. Competitor number 314, Charlie Hinksberger and Smith Family Superman, commonly known in the stable as Barry. This is Ian's nomination. Into the camp then should be 315, Pat Cleaver, stand by 316, Glenn Peacock. Score for Charlie Hinksberger's Smith Family Superman, cut out 21.67, horsework 57.33, 3 for the course for an 83. 86 in the first round gives Charlie a total of 169. 169 for Charlie Hinksberger and Smith Family Superman. You're watching Pat Cleaver, competitor 315 with Conserine, owned by the Fitzgerald family. On camp should be 316, Glenn Peacock, 317, Rowan Marks, 318, Kelly Eagles, 319, Mick Southern. Great to hear the crowd supporting these riders. Great to hear the applause. We'll have a score coming through very shortly for Pat Cleaver and Conserine. Cut out 21, horsework 62.33, course 4 for a total of 87.33 with a 19.67 in the first round, gives a total of 107, 107 for Pat Cleaver and Conserine. That was competitor 316, Glenn Peacock and Steger. Have a cut-out score of 20.67. Goes out with a 20.67, Glenn Peacock and Steger. Someone has lost their iPhone. Check if you have your iPhone. It's been handed in and it's at the information desk. There has been an iPhone handed in. Out on course, competitor 317, Rowan Marks and Turner's Stud Cowboy. This is Shane Turner's nomination, and we'll give you his cutout shortly. And that was a cutout of 17.67 for Rowan Marks and Turner's Stud Cowboy. 91.67 in the first round. Rowan leaves the arena with a 109.33. 109.33. Just check if you still have your iPhone. There has been an iPhone handed in to the information desk. On course, competitor 318, Kelly Eagles with one stylish tat. Standing by 319, Mick Southern, 320, Callum Moore, 321, Troy Palmer, 322, Campbell Borlo, 323, Mick Otten, 324, Kelly Smith, 325, Harry Steger. And that's time, thanks. That's time. Score for Kelly Eagles, 1 Stylish Tat, cut out 19, horsework 48, course 3 for a 70, with a 13.33 in the first round. That's a total of 83.33 for Kelly Eagles and 1 Stylish Tat. This is a Wengallan competitor, Mick Southern. He comes in as competitor 319, riding Nearabro President. Standing by 320, Callum Moore, 321, Troy Palmer. Score for Mick Southern and Nearabro President, cut out 22. Horsework 62.67, course 4 for a total of 88.67, with an 89.34 in the first round. That's a total of 178. 178 for Mick Southern and Nearabro President. Puts you in the top 11. We now watch competitor 320, Callum Moore, with Conman's Request. This is the Moore family's nomination, and they come from Camperdown. Troy Palmer, you'll be next at 321 with Playful. Stand by 322, Campbell Boylo, 323, Mick Otten, 324, Kelly Smith. You watch competitor 320, Callum Moore and Conman's Request. A score coming through for Callum Moore and Conman's Request. Cut out 21, horsework 56.67, course 3 for an 80.67, with an 87 first round score, total of 167.67. 167.67 for Callum Moore and Conman's Request. This is a Willinga Park course. This is competitor 321, Troy Palmer with Playful, owned by Willinga Park. Chasing a Willinga pastoral beast. .322 is on Campbell Boylo, standing by 323, Mick Otten, 324, Kelly Smith. Score coming through very shortly for Willinga Park's Playful, ridden by Troy Palmer. Cut out 22, horsework 60.33, course 4 for a total of 86.33 with a 21.67 first round. It's a total of 108, 108 there for Troy Palmer and Willinga Park's Playful. We now watch competitor 322, Campbell Boylo with Savannah. Campbell hails from Goulburn, and this is his own nomination. Into the camp goes 323 Mick Otten, standing by 324 Kelly Smith, 325 Harry Steiger, 326 Olivia McCallum, 327 John Mulcahy, 328 Josh Gibson, 329 Bryony Puttycombe. Oh. Do you reckon they heard that? Can you... Score coming through for Campbell Boylo, that was a cutout of 19.33. Horsework 56.67, course 3 for a 79 with a 71.67 in the first round. That's a total of 150.67, 150.67. Score for Mick Otten and Anemone, cut out 19.67 with an 84 in the first round. That's a total of 103.67. You now watch competitor 324, Kelly Smith and Ace. Standing by 325, Harry Steger, 326, Olivia McCallum, 327, John Mulcahy, 328, Josh Gibson, 329, Bryony Puttycombe, 330, Lucas Roberts. Please stand by. And that was a cutout of 19.67 for Kelly Smith's ace with an 83.33 as a total of 103, 103 for Kelly Smith's ace. It's that moment where we change the cattle. We'll just take a brief break while we get our fresh cattle in and take the others across the arena, and we'll come back with competitor 325, Harry Steiger and Uno.
Right out in front of you. He looks all right.
We're underway again with competitor 325, Harry Steger, and You Know. This is Bronwyn Upjohn's nomination. Harry hails from Camberwell. Into the camp goes 326, Olivia McCallum, standby 327, John Mulcahy, 328, Josh Gibson, 329, Bryony Puttycombe, 330, Lucas Roberts, 331, Hugh Miles, 332, Matthew Moffat, 333, Dave Rapley. So we have about 41 horses left to run to complete the Ringers Western Gold Buckle Open, the second round. At the end, the completion of this draft, we will be running the cutout qualifier. It's very, very thrilling, so hang about for the cutout competition. I believe it's one of the feature events throughout the week. We have a score coming through for Harry Steiger's You Know, cutout 21.67, horsework 63.67, 4 for the course, for an 89.34, with an 87 in the first round. That gives Harry Steiger and You Know a total score of 176.33, 176.33 for Harry Steiger's You Know. Out on course, competitor 326, Olivia McCallum and Henry Boone. This is Linda McCallum's nomination. Standing by, 327, John Mulcahy, 328, Josh Gibson, 329, Bryony Puttycombe, 330, Lucas Roberts, 331, Hugh Miles, 332, Matthew Moffat, 333, Dave Rapley, 334, Ben McNaughton, 335, Cameron Webster, 336, Carl Green. Roma competitor John Mulcahy comes into the camp at 327 with Stratton's Just Rosie, owned by John and Sandy Mulcahy from Roma. 328 goes on camp, Josh Gibson, Jewel Smart Cat, standby 329, Bryony Puttycombe, 330, Lucas Roberts. And that was competitor 327, John Mulcahy with Stratton Just Rosie. I'll have his score very, very shortly. It was cut out of 22.33, horsework 62.33, 4 for the course for an 88.66. With an 82.34 in the first round, gives John Mulcahy and Stratton Just Rosie a total of 171 points, 171 there for John. We watch competitor 328, Josh Gibson, Jewel Smart Cat. Bryony goes on camp at 329. Bryony Puttycombe, standby 330, Lucas Roberts, 331, Hugh Miles, 332, Matthew Moffat, 333, Dave Rapley, and 334, Ben McNaughton. It's competitor 328, Josh Gibson and Jewel Smart Cat. Score for Josh Gibson, cut out 17.67, horsework 63.33, Course 4 for a total of 85 with a 20 in the first round. That's a total of 105 for Josh Gibson's Dual Smart Cat. She's called for the gate and she's out on course. Competitor 329, Bridie Puttycombe and ABCRA. Luke Roberts, you go on camp at 3:30 with Gigi, stand by 3:31, Hugh Miles. But we watch competitor 329, Bridie Puttycombe and ABCRA. Cut out 20.33, horsework 63.67, course 4 for an 88 with an 88.67. Gives Bridie Puttycombe and ABCRA a total of 176 points. 176.67 points. 176.67 points is the final score for Bridie Puttycombe's ABCRA. We now watch competitor 330, Lucas Roberts and Gigi. 3:31, Hugh Miles goes on camp. Stand by 3:32, Matthew Moffat. 3:33, Dave Rapley. 3:34, Ben McNaughton. 3:35, Cameron Webster. 3:36, Carl Green. 3:37, John Templeton. Score for Lucas Roberts GG, cut out 20.33, horsework 61, course 4 for an 85.33, 77.33 in the first round. That is a total of 162.67 for Lucas Roberts and GG. Watching Peter Doonan's nomination, Destiny's Playgirl, ridden today by Hugh Miles. He comes out as competitor 331. 3:32 goes on camp, Matthew Moffat. Stand by 3:33, Dave Rapley. 3:34, Ben McNaughton. Cut out 22.33, horsework 57.33 and 3 for the course for an 82.66 with an 89.66 first round score. That's a total of 172.33. 172.33 for Hugh Miles and Destiny's Playgirl. You watch competitor 332, Matthew Moffat, PV Grasshopper. This is K&E Hanrahan's nomination. 333, Dave Rapley is on camp. Stand by 334, Ben McNaughton. Score for Matthew Moffat and PV Grasshopper, cut out 23, horsework 62.67, 4 for the course, for an 89.67. 84.67 in the first round, that's a total of 174.33. 174.33 for Matthew Moffat and PV Grasshopper. Watch competitor 333, Dave Rapley and Eagle Hope. I'll give you his cutout score shortly. Competitor 334, Ben McNaughton, is in camp. Standby 335, Cameron Webster. 336, Carl Green. Cutout 17.33 there for Dave Rapley and Eagle Hope. Goes out with a 17.33. This is competitor 334, Ben McNaughton and AMAC Jigsaw. This is Laura McNaughton's nomination. Standby number 335, Cameron Webster. 336, Carl Green. 337, John Templeton. And 338, Matthew Moy. Cutout 20, horsework 62.33, course 4 for a total of 86.33, with a 76 in the first round, gives Ben McNaughton and AMAC Jigsaw a total of 162.33. 162.33. We now watch Wandoan competitor Cameron Webster with Lani Akers. He comes in as competitor 335. 336 goes on camp, Carl Green and Bushy. And 337, John Templeton. 338, Matthew Moy. 339, Ben Matum. 340, Josh Barnett. Score coming through very shortly for Cameron Webster and Lani Akers. Cutout 22.67, horsework 62, course 4 for a total of 88.67. 22 in the first round for Cameron gives a total of 110.67. 110.67 for Cameron Webster and Lani Akers. Carl Green's now on course, competitor 336, riding Bushy. 337 goes on camp, John Templeton, Sweet Talic Cat. Standby 338, Matthew Moyes, Conley. Cut out 21, horsework 57, course 3 for an 81 with an 89 in the first round. That's a total of 170 points for Carl Green and Bushy. You now watch competitor 337, John Templeton from Glen Innes, riding Sweet Talic Cat. This is John's own nomination. He rides horses for a lot of other people, but this is John's and Tash's own nomination, Sweet Talic Cat. Score for John, cut out of 22 with an 87 in the first round, is a total of 109. Next competitor, 338, Matthew Moy and Con Lee. Standing by then, 339, Ben Mayton, 340, Josh Barnett, 341, Sarah Nichols, 342, Peter Bolton, 343, Paige Nancarrow, 334, Ken Bolton, 344 is Ken Bolton, 345 is Terry Smith.
Am I 44? No, you're 65. I'll go along with you, though.
The score coming through shortly for competitor 338, Matthew Moy and Con Lee. 339's on camp, Ben Mayton, standby 340, Josh Barnett, 341, Sarah Nichols, 342, Peter Bolton. Score for Matthew Moy and Con Lee, cut out 21, horsework 61.33, course 4 for an 86.33 with a 21.33 as a total of 107.67. Ben Mayton has a score with Elsie Bon Jovi, cut out 21.67 with a 19 in the first round. Ben goes out with a total of 40.67. 40.67 for Ben Mayton and Elsie Bon Jovi. Next competitor is number 340, Josh Barnett and Moonlight, standby 341, Sarah Nichols, 342, Peter Bolton, and 343, Paige Nancarrow. At the completion of this second round, we are going to have the cutout qualifier. Make sure you're here for that. It's apparently a very exciting event. We watch competitor 340, Josh Barnett and Moonlight. Have a score for you very shortly. Cut out 21.33, horsework 62, course 4 for an 87.33 with an 88 first round is a total 175.33. For Josh Barnett and Moonlight. She looks over her cattle. Our next competitor, Sarah Nichols, with rustic metal. It's competitor 341. Stand by 342, Peter Bolton, gifted spin. Out on course, competitor 341, Sarah Nichols and rustic metal. We'll have a cutout score very shortly for Sarah. Peter Bolton will be in next at 342 with gifted spin. Sarah has a cutout of 19.67 with an 80 in the first round. That's a total of 99.67. 99.67 for Sarah Nichols and rustic metal. Competitor 342 is looking over his cattle, Peter Bolton, with gifted spin. Standing by, we have 343, Paige Nancaro, 344, Ken Bolton, 345, Terry Smith, 346, Mark Buttsworth, 347, Matt Durkin, 348, Bernadette Lucas, 349, Pete Comiskey, and 350 will be Dan French. But we watch competitor 342, Peter Bolton, and gifted spin. Score for Peter Bolton's gifted spin, cut out 22, horsework 59, course 3 for a total of 84 with an 81 in the first round. That's a total of 165. 165 for Peter Bolton and gifted spin. Paige is next, Paige Nancaro with Lena's Little Tazza. Out on course, competitor 343, Paige Nancaro and Lena's Little Tazza. Ken Bolton goes on camp at 344, stand by 345, Terry Smith, 346, Mark Buttsworth, 347, Matt Durkin, which you're currently watching. Competitor 343, Paige Nancaro. Cut out 15.67, horsework 56, course 4 for a 75.67 with an 87 in the first round. That's a total of 162.67 for Paige Caro and Lena's Little Tazza. Ken Bolton, we watch, is competitor 344, Obenvale Redeem. 345 goes on camp, Terry Smith with Mouse, standby 346, Mark Buttsworth. Cut out 21.33. Horsework 56.67, course 3 for a total of 81. Then 85.67 first round score gives a total of 166.67. 166.67 for Ken Bolton and Obenvale Redeem. .145 on course, Terry Smith and Mouse. Marks on camp with Nonda Southern Cross. Score shortly for Terry Smith, cut out 18.33 with a 79.33. That's a total of 97.67 for Terry Smith and Mouse. We now watch competitor 346, Mark Buttsworth, riding Heather and David Pascoe's Nonda Southern Cross. On camp we should have 347 Matt Durkin, 348 Bernadette Lucas, 349 Pete Comiskey. So I'll have a score through shortly for David and Heather Pascoe's Nonda Southern Cross. Cut out 22.33, horsework 62, course 4 for an 88.33 with an 83.34 first round score. That's a total of 171.67 points. 171.67 for Mark Buttsworth, riding David and Heather Pascoe's Nonda Southern Cross. We watch the 347, Matt Durkin and Fancy Man. Then we'll have 348, Bernadette Lucas, 349, Pete Comiskey, 350, Dan French. Score for Matty Durkin and Fancy Man, cut out 21.67, horsework 62.33, 4 for the course for an 88 with an 86.67 first rounder, gives him a total of 174.67. 174.67 for Matt Durkin and Fancy Man. Next competitor is 348, Bernadette Lucas and Erin Hendricks. This is our Glen Innes competitor, Bernadette Lucas. Into the cam should go 349, Pete Comiskey, standby 350, Dan French. Cutout 21.33, horsework 59, course 4 for an 84.33. With an 88.33 first round score, total score of 172.67. That's Bernadette Lucas and Erin Hendricks. 349, Pete Comiskey with Rebel Mama, now on camp. Standing by 350, Dan French, 351, Ben Hall, 352, Scott Bandy, 353, Bruce O'Dell, 354, Luke Hardwick.
Go.
And that was Pete Comiskey and Rebel Mama. It's Bryony's mare, met Rebel Mama, Bryony Puttycomb's nomination. And we will get a score very, very shortly. .350s on camp, Dan French and True Bet. Standing by 351, Ben Hall, 352, Scott Bandy. Cut out 22.33, horsework 59.33, 4 for the course for an 85.66 with the 79 in the first round. That's a total of 164.67 for Pete Comiskey and Rebel Mama. Out on course now is competitor 350, Dan French and True Bet. And just having a very quick change of cattle down at the backyards before we continue on with Dan, and then 351 Ben Hall, 352 Scott Bandy, 353 Bruce O'Dell. But you currently watch competitor 350, Dan French and True Bet. Cut out a 21, horsework 55.67, course 3 for a total of 79.67 with a 20.33 in the first round. That's a total of 100 points, 100 for Dan French and True Bet. So I'll hand you over now to Gavin Beard to continue on for the rest of the afternoon.
Well, thank you very much, Leslie, once again. Continuing on, we've only got about 30-odd left in this particular event here this afternoon, the round 2 of the Ringers Western Gold Buckle Championship here this afternoon in round 2 of that. So, and then at about 6:30, we'll be getting underway with that first round of the cutout. So you're watching it on camp now, competitor number 351, Ben Hall with Hunterview Conmaze. Hunterview Conmaze is owned by Ben and Sherry Stanger, and Ben's obviously come down to us from Julia Creek. While Ben's putting his business together out there, we'll move on to competitor number 352, Scott Bandy with Smart Con. 353, Bruce O'Dell, please be at the gate with Will Power. And 354, Luke Hardwick with Sweet Acres. Don't be far away, Luke. That'll be time. Last competitor, Ben Hall with Hunterview Con May, scoring a 21.67 for cutout, 51 for horsework, another 3 course points, grand total 75.67. Put it with a 79 out of round number 1, Ben, that'll be 154.67. 154.67 points, Ben Hall with Hunterview Con Mays. You're watching outside now. Competitor number 352, Scott Bandy, with his nomination in Smart Con. Scott and Tanya Bandy, come up from Tooma. Unfortunately, Ben, Scott, we will give you a camp score. You've got a camp score there, my friend, of 22 points. 22, put it with an 81.67 from round number 1. That'll be a 103. 103.67 for Scott Bandy and Smart Con. Competitor number 353, Bruce O'Dell with Will Power on the camp. Luke Hardwick, you're next in at 354, and 355, Andrew Turvey, you be ready with Sass and Bide. Number 356, Tony Pearce and Highly Stylish. But you're watching all the action there right now with Bruce O'Dell and Will Power. Last competitor, competitor number 353, Bruce O'Dell and Will Power, scoring a 21.33 for cutout, 61.67 for the horsework, another 4 course points. That'll be an 87-point round. 87, and you put it with an 88.33. That'll be a nice 175.33. 175.33 for Bruce O'Dell and Will Power. You are currently watching competitor number 354, Luke Hardwick with Sweet Acres. On the camp then, we should have competitor number 355, Mr. Andrew Turvey, Sass and Bide. Number 356, Tony Pearce, you be at the gate, please, with Highly Stylish. And 357, Ben Cowdroy with One Stylish Buddy. 358, Dean Rogers and JP Impact. And number 359 will be Matt Holtz with Con Allen. Tell you what, there you go, ladies and gentlemen, and that's how you do it. And once again, a very, very big thank you to all the livestock team here at Willinga Park and all the affiliated properties that help put these cattle together, and the efforts that are made to hand select these cattle for such an event and hold the event at such facilities. So a big thank you to the Snow family and all the team behind the Snow family that make this event happen. Last competitor, Luke Hardwick and Sweet Acres, scoring a 21.67 for cutout, 60.33 for horsework. Another 4 course points there, Luke. That'll be an 86-point round. Put it with an 81 out of round number 1. That'll be a 167. 167 points for Luke Hardwick and Sweet Acres. You're watching now one of the team here at Willinga, competitor number 355, Mr. Andrew Turvey and Sass and Bide. In on the camp, please. Now, number 356, Tony Pierce. Highly stylish. Be at the gate, Ben Cowdery. You are number 357. 358, Dean Rogers, JP Impact. 359, Matt Holtz and Con Ellen. Andrew Turvey, Sass and Bode scoring a 21.67 for cutout. Unfortunately, no further points there, but you get to put it with a 79 from yesterday, Turv. That'll give you 100.67 two-round score. 100.67 for Andrew Turvey and Sass and Bode. You're watching now, up in front of the camp, Tony Pierce, highly stylish. Waiting at the gate, number 357, Ben Cowdery with one stylish buddy. Highly stylish. He's owned by Tom Kernia, and Tony's come to us from Goulburn. That'll be time. Watching in on camp. Now, competitor number 358, Dean Rogers with a JP Impact. Oh, sorry. Sorry, Ben. This is Ben Cowdery with one stylish buddy. As number 357. Last competitor, Tony Pierce with highly stylish, scoring a 20.67 for cutout, 50.67 for horsework, another 3 course points. Grand total 74.34. Put it with a 20.33 out of round number 1. That will be a 94.67 round. 94.67 two-round score for Tony Pierce and highly stylish. Last competitor, competitor number 357, Ben Cowdery with one stylish buddy. Scoring 21 for cutout, 59.67 for horsework, 4 course points, grand total 84.67. Put it with the 20.67 out of round number 1. It'll be 105.33 for Ben Cowdery's one stylish buddy. You are now watching competitor number 358, Dean Rogers with JP Impact. In on camp, number 359, Matt Holtz with Con Ellen. Troy Palmer, you be ready at the gate with Bad in Black. Last competitor, competitor number 358, Dean Rogers, JP Impact, 21.33 for cutout, 56.33 for horsework, another 3 course points, grand total 80.66. Put that with an 84 out of round number 1, that'll be a 164.67. 164.67 for Dean Rogers, JP Impact. You're watching now competitor number 359, Mr. Matthew Holtz with Con Ellen. Con Ellen's owned by Kooyong Pastoral. Matthew appears to have things back under control there. We have in on camp now, competitor number 360, Troy Palmer, riding the nomination in Bad in Black. That's time. Last competitor, Matt Holtz, with Con Ellen scoring a 22 points for cutout, 56.33 for horsework, another 4 course points. Grand total, 82.33. Put it with an 88 out of round number 1. That'll be a 170.33. 170.33 for Matt Holtz. You are watching in on camp now, the Willinga Park nomination, Bad in Black, ridden by Mr. Troy Palmer. As we mentioned, this is Bad in Black, the Willinga Park nomination with Troy Palmer aboard. We'll get you a score there in just a moment, Troy, but next competitor in, number 361, Chris Nicholson with Wallaroo Cognito. Number 362, William Chugg with Miss Brooks Boone. Number 363, David Thorne with One Hell of a Time. 364, Danny Farley riding Chad, and 365, Huey Miles. You'll be ready with Ausland Pastures Fantasy, and number 366, Kerry Turner riding Turner's Stud Reward. Score to date for Troy Palmer and Bad in Black, 22.67 for cutout, 60.67 for horse work. 4 course points, that'll be an 87.34. Put it with an 87.33 out of round number 1, that'll be a 174.67. 174 points, 0.67 for Troy Palmer and Bad in Black. You are watching now competitor number 361, Chris Nicholson, Wallaroo Cognito. William Chugg, you're next in. You're number 362 with Mix Brooks Boone, and number 363, David Thorne. Be ready with One Hell of a Time. Chris Nicholson with Wallaroo Cognito scoring a 20.67 for cutout. Put it with a 19.67 from round number 1. That will be a 40.33 two-round score. Righto, you are watching now competitor number 362. A few competitors left in this round number 2 for the Willinga Park Ringers Western Gold Buckle Campdraft Championship here for 2024. Don't forget about that cutout qualifier here this afternoon at 6:30, ladies and gentlemen. Spectators, come around, grab yourself a drink, something to eat, and come and watch the spectacle here this afternoon. You'll see some of Australia's finest horseflesh and jockeys in action in the camp. It is always an exciting event, so come on down. Make sure you come and watch it. If you can't get here, watch it on the live stream. Score to date for the last competitor, competitor number 362, William Chug, Miss Brooks Boone, scoring 21.67 for cutout, 63 for horsework, 4 course points. That is an 88.67 round. Put it with a 20.33 out of round number 1. That'll be a 109. 109 points for William Chug with Miss Brooks Boone. In on camp now, you have competitor number 363. You are watching none other than Mr. David Thorne with his nomination in, with Kirk and Tracy Nicholson's nomination in One Hell of a Time. And like we've been mentioning all through the week there, ladies and gentlemen, you can travel the countryside, but you will see no better horsepower and jockey, trainer, rider combinations than what you get to witness here right at Willinga Park each and every year. So congratulations to the Snow family and the Willinga Park team for always putting on such an event and attracting the horses, the trainers, the jockeys, and everybody else involved. So congratulations. And that's just another fine example of what we're talking about. That was competitor number 363, David Thorne, with One Hell of a Time. I'll get you a score in just a moment, David. 364, Danny Farley and Chad. Number 365, Huey Miles. You'll be ready with Auslan Pasture Fantasy. And final competitor here this evening in this particular event will be 366, Kerry Turner with Turner's Stud Reward. Well, David Thorne with One Hell of a Time scoring. A 22.67 for cutout, a 64 for horsework, another 4 course points there, Dave. That is a 90.67 round. 90.67, you put that with an 87 out of round number 1. That'll be a nice score of 177.67. 177.67 points for David Thorne with One Hell of a Time. You are watching outside now. Another one of these fine jockeys, Danny Farley riding Chad. Danny and Cherie Farley coming down here from Kirriby. We'll grab your score in just a moment there, Danny, but we're moving on. 365, Hugh Miles, Auslan Pastures Fantasy. Owned by none other than Joel and Belinda Fleming up there at Tamworth. And the final competitor waiting at the gate will be number 366, Kerry Turner, Turner's Stud Reward. Danny Farley and Chad scoring 21 for cutout, 62.33 for horsework, another 4 course points, 87.33. Put it with an 88.67, and that'll be a 176. 176 points there, Danny. For Danny Farley and Chad. You are watching outside now. Second last competitor, number 365, Hugh Miles, Auslan Pastures Fantasy. Like we mentioned there, on account of Joel and Belinda Fleming. And on camp, we have 366, Kerry Turner with Turner's Stud Reward. Hugh Miles with Auslan Pastures Fantasy scoring a 22.33 for cutout, 61.67 for horsework, 4 course points. That's an 88-point round. 88 points, put it with the 81.66 out of round number 1. That'll be a 169.67. 169.67 points for Hugh Miles, Auslan Pastures Fantasy. I know, final competitor, number 366, Kerry Turner with Turner's Stud Reward. And that's how you roll them out. Thank you, Kerry. Kerry Turner, Turner Stud Reward, scoring a 21 for cutout. 63.33 for horsework at 4 course points. That'll be an 88.33 round. Put it with a 20.33 out of round number 1. That'll be a 108.67. So 108.67 for Kerry Turner with Turner's Stud Reward. And that will roll out the second round of the Willinga Park Ringers Western Gold Buckle Campdraft Championship here, round 2. So we will have the semi-final for that tomorrow after the ladies. After the ladies' first round, the ladies dash for cash. But don't forget this afternoon or this evening at approximately 6:30, unless there's been a change, I think it's still at 6:30 at this stage, we will have the cutout qualifier. And if you bear with us just a moment, we will get you some leading place getters for that round 2 and round 1 at this stage in the Gold Buckle Campdraft Championship. So I tell you what, we talk about the cattle, we talk about the facilities, and we talk about the owners and the sponsors right through here. But the competitors here today and the level of scores that have taken us right through after 2 rounds of that Gold Buckle Championship, ladies and gentlemen, sitting up there with 182 points, 182.67 to be precise, is Matthew Moffat's JMD Fascinator. Sitting up there with a 181.67 is Matthew Moffat with a Snapchat. Currently sitting in 3rd place with a 181, very closely followed behind is Rowan Marks with Turner Marks Editor. At this stage, 4th place, Matthew Moffat with She Be a Cat at 180.33. 5th place at this stage is Harry Steger with Bell's Magic with a 179. Mark Buttsworth, you're holding the 6 marbles at this stage with Stylish Abilene with a 178.67. And equal 7th, 8th, 9th and 10th is Ben McNaughton's Django, Matthew Moffat's Hurry's Alley Cat, Mark Buttsworth, Pep's Double Ray, and Ben Hall's Cosmo, all sitting there with a 178.33 points. So there are your 10 leading place getters at this stage after 2 rounds of the Willinga Park Ringers Western Gold Buckle Campdraft Championship here for 2024 at this stage. So thank you very much. We will see you back here at approximately 6:30 for that cutout qualifier.